Hello and welcome to Decks Done Right TCG. We have another deck tech here for you. This is my project from the new set. My favorite card. I was like, you know what, we're gonna try and break this thing. So I'm working on it. It's Lich's Mastery, and let's just go ahead and jump on into the deck tech. So first thing we're going to start off with is the creatures. There's two of them, but they're not for creature, or they're not used as creatures really. They are, the card is Ethereal Usher, and basically you're using it specifically for the transmute cost. Which basically what transmute does is it's pay 1 colorless and 2 blue, and then you discard this card and then search your library for a card with the same converted mana cost as this card, so it can find both of your combo pieces here of Lich's Mastery and Hive Mind. And we'll go over why certain parts of this deck kind of all work together, and why I think this deck is actually gonna be pretty good. But it pitches itself, and then you go find your 2 combo pieces, or either one. If you have one, you go get the other, or what have you. Next up is the Pact cycle, and one of the things we'll go over real quick, Lich's Mastery, and why the pacts are kind of important. So for 3 colorless and 3 black, it's a legendary enchantment. Says it has hexproof, and then it says you can't lose the game. So that's already good. That makes the packs really strong because you don't have to worry about the upkeep costs on the packs. Then it says whenever you gain life, draw that many cards. That's really strong. So if you heal, like the old card from Alpha, Healing Salve, 1 white, gain 3 life, that would be essentially gain 3 life and draw 3 cards. That's really good. Next up, it says whenever you lose life, for each 1 life you lost, exile a permanent you control or a card from your hand or graveyard. We'll get to why that's kind of important as we go through the cards. And then lastly, it says whenever Lich's Mastery leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. So even if you have life still, like say you're at 12 life, you somehow manage to stabilize, but they figure out a way to blow it up, you're dead. So that is kind of a risk, but with combo decks, that's just kind of how it is. You go for the high risk, and sometimes you get highly rewarded, you know? So with you can't lose the game, it makes the packs just super awesome. Intervention Pact specifically. Now, most people know the blue, or the blue pack, the green pack, and the black pack and the green pack. And while I'm not running any creatures, green creatures, so there's no reason to run that pack. It doesn't really add anything to the deck other than another potential gotcha spell for Hive Mind. But the white pack actually is really relevant, because what it says is for 0 mana, just like all the other ones, the next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. You gain life equal to the damage prevented this way. So you can essentially fog a creature or whatever, and you draw that many cards. So now, like, basically you gain the life, you draw that many cards for 0 mana, and whenever your upkeep comes around, you don't lose the game. Really strong. Basically, this is a free counter target spell for free, and you don't have to worry about the upkeep costs. This, I put 1 Pact of the Titan in here because I feel like having possibly a 4/4 blocker is kind of relevant. It also helps contribute to the Hive Mind combo, which we'll get into in just a second. And so having a 4/4 beater or blocker is actually pretty not bad for this deck. And then lastly is destroy target non-black creature. Pretty self-explanatory for 0. Now, next up we've got here is Angel's Grace. Now, Angel's Grace is used in lieu of if you don't have the Lich's Mastery out yet, and you cast one of the packs because you need to, Slaughter Pact something and get it off the table. Angel's Grace is there to cover you just in case you have to use it. So this is a really crucial card to the deck too. It prevents you from losing the game, and it saves you. So very, very clutch card here. Next up is Inquisition of Kozilek, and this is your bread and butter discard spell. We could run Duress as well in the sideboard. I just don't think it's necessary. Definitely don't want to run Thoughtseize because that costs you life, right? So you don't want to do that. But it says target player reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card from it with converted mana cost 3 or less, and that player discards card. So it gets rid of an early threat or something that may interrupt you from where you are at that time. Then we got next up is Serum Visions. For 1 mana, draw a card and then scry 2. So we were trying to find our stuff, find our pieces, and it's basically the best draw spell in blue currently. Then we have 2 mana leaks in here. This is also to get rid of an early threat to buy you some time so that you can go off and get all your pieces together. So this is a little bit of early disruption along with this. Next up is Think Twice. And while this isn't a great spell, it's okay. There's points in which we may swap that out for another Read the Bones. I'm not 100% sure. The deck is not locked in stone. Like, this is definitely we're gonna see how it goes and then make adjustments from there. But I think this is pretty sweet to start off with. But I like Think Twice as a one of. Next up, I'm sorry, for Think Twice, it's a blue and a colorless for draw a card, and then it has flashback for two colorless and a blue. So, essentially you get to draw 2 cards for 5 mana. Not terribly bad, but not great either. But it is at instant speed, so that does help it. Next up is Read the Bones, and this is one of my favorite black spells, period. It's just, I know there's a big debate on whether this is better than Painful Truths, but this is, if you think about it in a logical way, it actually is better than Painful Truths. Even in a tricolor deck, which is what this is. This is essentially a white, blue, black deck, an Esper deck. So, but what it says is scry 2, then draw 2 cards, and you lose 2 life. Now, this is kind of like a non-bo a little bit with Lich's Mastery, losing the 2 life. But seeing 4 cards may get you to your other cards that you need. And one of the things I want to remind you is you have the choice of exiling a card from your hand, the battlefield, or the graveyard. So you're casting a decent amount of spells. So if you do lose those 2 life, you can pitch 2 cards out of your graveyard if need be. So it's not that bad. If you didn't lose any life, this card would be absolutely insane. But as black is, black always has to have a drawback, typically. So next up is Sphinx's Revelation. This card is insane with Lich's Mastery. So for double blue, white, and X, it's instant. You gain X life and draw X cards. So you're basically drawing double what X is because of Lich's Mastery. So let's just say you make X 5. So you're going to gain 5 life and draw 5 cards. And then when Lich's Mastery trigger goes off, you also get to draw another 5 cards. So you're drawing 10 cards for one spell of X. That's just awesome. Very good value there. Next up is Supreme Verdict and Wrath of God. I put one of each in here just because currently Meddling Mage is everywhere in the humans deck, and so if they name one, you can always have the ability to cast the other to still get rid of the board. So it's good to have one of each, I think. And both of them do the exact same thing, except for this one makes it to where they can't be regenerated. This one makes it to where it can't be countered. So they both have their merits, but having one of each Wrath spell I think is pretty important. Next up is one of the other parts of the combo. So with Lich's Mastery, so Approach of the Second Sun is for 6 colorless and a white. It says, for sorcery, if Approach of the Second Sun was cast from your hand, and you've cast another spell, name a second Approach of the Second Sun this game, you win the game. Otherwise, put Approach of the Second Sun into its owner's library, 7th from the top, and you gain 7 life. So a lot of people, once this card was spoiled, realized that this was a combo in itself, specifically for Standard. But in Modern, I don't think that this by itself is good enough to get there. You got to have something else going on with it. Like, you can't just play a straight Esper control deck and hope to get there like that. I think that's too fragile. So we attacked it with another angle with the Hive Mind combo. Now, obviously the Hive Mind combo goes with the packs, and the beautiful thing about any one of these other ones is you have, nothing really is out of the limits when it comes to Lich's Mastery, where you just gain in life and being able to cast all your different things. Hive Mind was already kind of a deck with the Amulet Bloom deck before Summer Bloom got banned. So it's kind of it's not necessarily a tried and true card, but it is another good win condition. And then lastly, how can I forget about, we still got to go over the lands real quick, but the last part of the deck, kind of the beautiful part of why you can go off so early, is if you have 2 Lotus Blooms in your hand at the beginning of the game, in your opener, you can go off as soon as turn 3 if you have one of these other cards in your hand. So let's just say you had 2 of these, 1 of these, and one of the packs that your opponent's not playing. You can pretty much win the game. Once those come off of suspend on turn 3, you just play the spell you play this spell off that mana and then play one of the spells for free and win the game. Similarly, you can play this, then play your Lich's Mastery, and now you've got your Mastery online, and so now you're just looking for your Approach of the Second Sun and kind of winning from that angle. So it's got multiple angles of attack. This is kind of why I like this deck a lot. Lastly is your land base. Nothing too crazy in the deck per se. You got your Boseiju, who shelters all. This allows you to force through some of your spells, specifically before Lich's Mastery comes online. You can force through the approach, stuff like that. So you make sure that you can play the second spell, because you have to make sure that the second one resolves to get through there. Then we've got some fetches, 3 islands of plains and a swamp, some shocks here, and 2 of each of the temples. Temples are just great for trying to find the combos and getting there. So ultimately, like, everything kind of works with one another. There's a couple of non-bows, and we may filter those out later. But as of right now, like, these being able to find your combo pieces here, all of these cards obviously work with Lich's Mastery in play or having the backup of Angel's Grace to save you. Then you got all your card draw / filtering and your combo enablers to play the cards. And then these two are just sweet together. I think it's just an overall well melded together deck of two combos smashed into the same deck. So if you guys have any questions or comments, leave those down below and I'll try to address them. And if you guys have any other suggestions to this deck, let me know. But hopefully I can get this on camera pretty soon and we can show you guys some gameplay of this deck as well. Well, thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.